you getting hungry? What do you want to eat?
I don't know. That's a great question. I think... Oh, I actually really just want...
Sorry. I'm in the middle of fusion summoning. You actually can't respond. Hey, we, like, have an actual day off tonight. Do you want to, like, watch a show?
I don't know. We never have a night off. I think we should watch,
Sorry. Actually, I'm kind of in the middle of fusion summon, so I don't actually care what you're doing. So, I want to, like, test a new deck. What deck do you want to play?
I mean, actually, I have this one. I've got this one. This one's actually, like, one of my favorite.
I'm still fusioning. Sorry. I don't care.
You know what? I don't even care.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you getting upset? Are you having a meltdown?
What's up, everybody? This is Brian.
And I'm Logan. And this is Tops. Yup. And this is Bottoms. Wow, yup. And this is Triple. Yup. Avocado. Oh my. I'm sorry. Are we playing Invoked? Wow. Yeah, it's one of those days. All right. And we're Crush Cards. Hi, team. Happy Thursday. My mad, magical, macabas, mechabas, whatever you want to be today, baby, that's you. Has hell actually frozen over, you ask? No, we are playing an Invoked deck, unironically, but it's only a small Invoked engine, and it's about time. I mean, it's pretty good. It's doing really well. It's pretty darn meta if you throw it at any deck right now, and we love Eldritch, and it's got some really cool new fusion monsters. Well, one monster, but still it counts, so we kind of decided to mash them together, and here it is, our beautiful love child of love and hate.
One of our sponsors, Imperium Duelist. If you are interested, check out the links in the description box down below. They sent us an incredible binder to the P.O. box the other day, and it is the Alistair Book of the Law, actual, like, book that he carries in the card, which is absolutely awesome. We figured, wow, it's time to update our Invoke deck, and then we realized, wow, we don't have an Invoke deck on the channel yet. So this is the first Invoked deck we've ever put on the channel.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, not to say that we don't actually have Invoked decks or we haven't played Invoked before. We will be honest, it's not really our favorite deck. Shout out to our buddy Slim YUGIOH if you do want to go see some Invoked content.
Yo, he's got all of it.
He is Alistair himself. So this is just going to be our take on the deck. There is some really cool new support that came out for the Eldritch engine. So we're not going to waste any more time. Before we get into this video, if you guys are not already a subscriber, feel free to go down, hit that subscribe button, throw this video a like, and comment your favorite fusion monster. Dragoon is not an option.
We also have an Instagram. It's at crushcards.YUGIOH. We're on there all the time if you want to interact with us a little more and get to know us. We also have a super wholesome Discord community. It's absolutely bopping. We do remote duel tourneys. We have a lot of fun in there. If you want to make some friends, I highly recommend joining the Discord. And then last but not least, if you want to further support the channel and the shenanigans that happen here, we have a Patreon. You get remote duel sessions with us, merch up the woozah, side decks, bloopers, you name it, it's in there. The Patreon is hella worth it. Please check it out. You have until the end of the month to get in for benefits for next month. And if you sign up today, you get to see all the cool videos we put up right now.
I will say before we get into this deck, I do think that these two engines are relatively self-explanatory and two engines in which most people know how to play. So we are going to breeze through this deck. But if you guys do have any further questions, feel free, as Logan said, to message us on Instagram or on Discord, and we'll be more than happy to answer any of it.
Also, the side deck will be up on Patreon.
All right, let's get rocking. Starting off for our monster count, we are playing double copies of Eldritch the Golden Lord. Shout out to Kraus, our good old buddy who designed this map.
Wow.
Look at little Eldritch. You got a little Conquistador. And so cool, dude. So for anyone who does not know, Eldritch has two effects in the hand. You can activate the effect to send himself and one spell or trap card you control to the graveyard and then target a card on the field. You can send the targeted card to the graveyard. It does target, but it is not destruction. So that is good to know. Kind of helps you break boards if you have to go second. And then it also has an additional effect where if this card is in the graveyard, you can pop a back row that you control, add it to your hand, and then you can summon a zombie monster from your hand, which typically is going to be himself. And if you do so, it gains 1,000 attack and cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use each effect once per turn, but this is like your main Eldritch engine. You don't need more than 2 copies of Eldritch. It's a very good card, but 3 can be kind of bricky, and if you play the deck correctly, 2 is all you will ever need. And then moving off to everybody's favorite or least favorite normal summon.
Oh my god.
We're playing Alistair the Invoker.
The Invoker of my nightmares.
Yeah, there he is. It's not the link. But this is a quick effect where you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and then target one fusion monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack and defense until the end of this turn.
Oh, Macabre. Oh, Alistair gains 1,000. Oh, cool, thanks. I'll die faster now. And then obviously if this card is normal summoned or flipped face up, you can add invocation from your deck to your hand. Note to self, don't ever Ash the Alistair. They already have the invocation. They're just baiting you.
Yeah, it's also really good to know that Alistair is a level 4 dark monster. Not that that really comes up often, but we are playing one card in the extra deck where that kind of can come up.
Yo, but peep the binder though. Like,
Yeah, right?
it literally is the binder. It's so cool. Nice job, Imperium. Feel free to use the code crushcards10 for 10% off if you go buy it.
Look at that. And like, the secret rares just look so good too. Love it, love it. Shout out to Slim. Love you, buddy. Let's move on.
Shout out to Alistair. I can't stand you.
And then moving off into our hand trap lineup, we're just going to cover them all right now. We are playing triple copies of Skullmeister because it's just the most generic when it comes to the graveyard.
Meister.
Triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous
Forehead.
Spring. And triple copies of Infinite Impermanence.
Infinite Impermanence, you say?
Yeah, this is a trap deck. It can afford to be kind of slow. And if you don't like Infinite Impermanence, feel free to play anything else. You can play Forbidden Droplets or any other card like that to help you go second. Just break boards. But Imperm is starting to see some play back into the main deck in this format, so we figured we might as well include it as well. It's really good against certain matchups. And then once again, good to note, Skullmeister, level 4. And then moving off for our Eldritch traps, we are playing triple copies of Scarlet Sanguine.
I want to go to a disco party with a bunch of skeletons.
Scarlet Sanguine is one of those cards where a lot of people feel like the card needs to be hit. Personally, I don't think this engine is like broken enough to the point where we need to put this card to 1. It literally gets Eldritch out of the deck, and then like, I don't know, there's a billion different answers to this deck, but who am I? What do I know? Whatever, put the card to 1. We'll just play the spells instead, whatever.
They just want to dance. Why is that so scary? What is this? Footloose? We're gonna ban dancing? This just has special summon Eldritch.
Yeah, this card literally, this has 2
Literally
effects. All the Elixir cards just special summon Eldritch from the deck. We are only playing this one, so that's all you need to know. And then it has an additional effect, which you can only activate one of these effects. So you either special Eldritch, or the other effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard to set any golden land spell or trap card directly from your deck. Once again, keep in mind you can only utilize one of those effects per turn, so just be mindful when you go to activate this. And then onto our golden land cards, we are playing the triple copies of Conquistador of the golden land. I mean, this is literally just your pop. You can special summon this card as a normal monster with 500 attack, 1800 defense, but then if you control Eldritch, you get to pop a card on the field. It literally doesn't target, which is absolutely incredible. It can be spells, traps, monsters, it can be whatever you want. This is just your fast effect pop, and then just like the Elixers, they have an additional effect, which you can only use one effect. So you can either activate this effect to pop, or during the end phase, you can banish this card to set Sanguine directly from your deck. And then we're playing double copies of Hakero. Hakero is the exact same thing as Conquistador, but instead of popping a face-up card, it banishes a card in either player's graveyard. So as long as you control Eldritch, you can flip this face up, becomes a monster, banish a card in the graveyard. It is good to note that these are still considered traps, but once again, they have 2 effects. The golden lands can banish to set Elixirs directly from your deck during the end phase, but once again, you can only use one of those effects per turn. And the reason we are only playing 2 Hakero is because we are playing double copies of Ice Dragon's Prison. This is probably one of the most busted cards in the game right now. This card is an ultra rare, sitting at like 40-45 bucks.
Remember when it was $9? Me too.
Yeah, you guys should have got him when we told you to. This card says you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard and then special summon it. Though its effects are negated, then you can banish one monster on your opponent's field that has the same type as the card and one card on your field. So you basically, this is your Dragoon out. You special summon Dark Magician, you banish the Dark Magician and the Dragoon.
Yeah, this is just your out for big boss monsters that can't be targeted. That's literally it.
And it is also good to note that you don't have to actually banish. So if your opponent activates, say, like a Monster Reborn and targeting a card, you could chain this, target that same card, and then obviously this will resolve first, so you can special summon that card back, Monster Reborn fizzles, and you just have your opponent's card on the field.
Crazy.
You might ask, what happens if they negate Ice Dragon's Prison? Well, that's why we're playing Strike. Strike says it doesn't matter. Bye, Dragoon. Sorry, buddy. I mean, do we need to explain Strike? Like, you pay 15, and that, do we really need to explain Strike?
Yeah.
This card's insane.
I mean, although it won't destroy a Dragoon, it still negates it, so it still tells Dragoon no. This card's just good against anything, to be honest.
And this is also very good as Chain Link 3 if you do have like a prison or maybe something else we're going to showcase in a little bit. If your opponent does attempt to negate something, you can just strike that monster and then get rid of it anyway.
For the low cost of 1,500 life points, you can win faster.
And then for the last trap in the deck, this is a brand new card that I am absolutely loving in the deck. It is triple copies of Angel Statue
Azurune.
Azurune? How is it? Is it Azurune?
I'm making it up as I go along. It seems like Azurune.
I'm going with Azurune.
Azurune.
Anyways, this card says you can special summon this card as an effect monster. Fairy Light, level 4, attack 1800, defense 1800. This card is also still a trap.
But she's thick though.
So there's some synergy here because these and all of your Golden Land traps are still traps but also monsters.
Whoa.
This card also says once per turn when your opponent would special summon a monster or monsters, while this card is in the monster zone, you can send to the graveyard one continuous trap in the monster zone that was special summoned from the spell trap zone, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy the monster. So it is good to note that obviously this card can use itself as a, you know, spell trap that was, whoa, bam, summoned now from the spell trap zone as a monster, but it's also good to note that in this deck, we also have trap cards that become monsters. So you can have this on the field as pressure and then just tribute this dude off, or you know, send it to the graveyard, whatever you want to call it, and then you get your Golden Land card in the graveyard to banish to recur more resources while still applying pressure with your angel statue.
Oh my god. She's literally a judgment without the cost of judgment. It's insane. She's so freaking good.
And then it has an additional effect, if that wasn't, you know, kind of busted enough. But when this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle, you can destroy the monster that destroyed this card.
Oh, that's nutty.
This card is literally just so much pressure. Like, did you see the table shake? It was scared. It was scared of how good this card is.
It's okay, table. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, this card's really good. I mean, I'm playing in Paleo. Any trap deck should really be utilizing this card. It is phenomenal. For a super rare, underrated.
Yeah, especially in your Eldritch decks, I highly, highly, highly recommend this card. Like, this card puts in so much work.
She's an angel. We love her. Azurune, Zuzu.
Also good to know, level 4.
Oh my god, and she's 1800. She got the Necro Banshee stat lines.
Moving off to our spells.
Oh, here comes the part of the deck I can't stand.
We're playing the 1 card, the 2 card, the 3 card, the 4 card spell package. Wow, isn't that kind of beautiful? Not
For
really.
anyone wondering, this is what I look like on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Those are the day Brian works, that's why. It was a joke, sorry.
Magical Meltdown is one of those really questionable cards that a lot of people seem to think is fair, and then other people really want put to 1. I honestly am indifferent. I don't care what this card does. This card is cool.
I mean, the activation of your cards and effects that include an effect that fusion summons a fusion monster cannot be negated. Also, your opponent's cards and effects cannot activate when a monster is fusion summoned this way. That's pretty bonkers.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. I'm not gonna lie. And then obviously we play the 4th copy with Terraforming, and if it doesn't get any worse, these are your 7th copies of Alistair, because you can just search Alistair whenever you activate this card. And then we are playing the double copies of Invocation. We do not need more than 2 copies because this card literally recurs itself.
God, I look at it and I just get angry.
Yeah, I mean, you open this card all the freaking time, so...
Even if you don't open it, it's still in your hand somehow. I don't know what you invoked players. I know you're all magical spellcasters and stuff, but like, what do you do before a duel to make Invocation and Alistair both in your hand all the time? What spells do you cast? And I just want to know.
The card says you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand as fusion material. Yada yada yada. Everyone knows that the really good part about this card is if you are fusion summoning an invoked monster this way, you can also banish monsters from your opponent's graveyard.
I hate it. I hate it.
That's pretty rough. That's like really, really rough because like it doesn't target, so your opponent has to respond to this. This is a 41 card deck. For the 41st card is the 1 copy of Called by the Grave. I know, believe it or not, I think this is the first deck in like a year that we've played this card.
Ever since it went to 1, we haven't really played it.
Yeah, but I do think that like the Alistair effect resolving, sometimes this can just be a game changer. And if you do have your Makaba on field and you need an additional spell to, you know, send, this is a pretty darn good one if you don't need it. Or it can just be set. This card has so much utility.
New cards that we actually care about.
I think this card is kind of cool in the deck. We are playing the brand new 7 Cities of the Golden Land.
This card is sick looking.
Yeah, this card is a continuous spell card, brand new out of Blazing Vortex.
It's a blaze, alright.
It is a Golden Land card, which is why we only play 1 of it, because keep in mind that this card can be set in or it can be searched. What this card says is during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using zombie monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. We are playing a brand new one in our extra deck. It's pretty lit.
Oh my god, I bet you he's mad.
And then this has an additional effect where if a zombie monster is special summoned by a card effect, you can target 1 set card in the spell trap zone, and that set card cannot be activated this turn. So this is kind of like your Trickstar Light stage. It's really sweet. So it fusion summons and it just like kind of freezes the back row.
Dang. Card's good. Man, this archetype's so good.
And then obviously the last cards in the deck, we were playing 3 copies of
Whoa!
Pay 8 Feel Great.
It's really funny, like 4 seconds before he put these cards, I couldn't see him in his hand, and I was like, oh my god, he didn't put Cursed Eldlin in this deck. Is he feeling okay? And then I was like,
Yeah,
oh, psych.
We did spells last, and this is probably the best one, so we gotta save the best for last. But this card literally says, pay 800 life points, add Eldritch or a golden land spell trap directly from your deck to your hand. Traps and now officially spells, so that's pretty cool that we have access to that. And it has the additional effect where if this card is sent to the graveyard from your spell trap zone, you can send Eldritch or 1 golden land spell trap card directly from your deck to the graveyard. This card is also just a huge pressure card. The only warning I have for this card is just be careful when you're paying your 800 life points. Don't get greedy because time rules kind of stink sometimes, and you don't want to bring yourself down too low. Your Eldritch engine, once you have access to it, can kind of just recur itself. So don't be greedy. This card is utility, and it also has the stipulation that not a lot of people pay attention to, that while this card is face up on the field, you cannot declare attacks except with zombie monsters. So keep in mind, we are playing other monsters in this deck that are not zombies, so you got to get this off the field before you go in for game.
Which is pretty easy because Eldritch pops stuff anyway.
Yep,
So
and
you're
it
all
becomes
good.
3,500, and then you can attack with Macabre. And
Big beefy, and then you can discard the Alistair, and you can
Jesus
push forget.
Christ.
Wow, fun deck. Anyway.
Moving on to the extra deck. For our Eldritch engine, or just the Link engine, we are playing the 1 copy of our Imduk, the World Chalice Dragon, and then the 1 copy of Link Spider. These are both literally just here because all we want to do is get our traps into the graveyard and then have access to our Eldritch engine. The Imduk also has a really cool effect because if this card battles an opponent's monster that this card points to, you can destroy that opponent's monster. So it can kind of just clear things that you know shouldn't really be able to clear with an 800 attack monster. We're playing Alistair, so we're cut the secure guard to package, and we are playing the 1 copy of Artemis the Magistus Moon Maiden.
We love her.
This card just takes a level 4 or lower spellcaster monster, and then you banish it and you make Macabre. You know, everyone knows what this card is.
Moon.
And then we are playing the 1 copy of Barricade Borg Blocker.
Oh my god, baby, you're gonna be a super soon.
Oh, I cannot freaking wait.
Oh my god.
This card is so good in the deck because you can discard 1 card, and then during the end phase of this turn, you can add 1 continuous or field spell card from your graveyard back to your hand. This allows you to get back your field spells. It also can allow you to get some of your search cards. It can allow you to get your Fusion Eldritch spell back, and it just gets some trap cards out of your hand to get your Eldritch engine rolling even faster.
Thank you so much, Konami, if you're watching. We appreciate you.
Yes, this card deserves an ultimate rare, but the super rare,
We'll settle.
take it. We'll take it.
It's the start.
And then moving off to our Xyz package, we're playing the 1 copy of Abyss Dweller. Remember all those times I said level 4, level 4, level 4? This card is incredible in this metagame right now. This can literally just shut down almost every single meta deck. And if you can afford to make this card, I would highly, highly recommend making it. Sometimes making 2 Macabre is not as strong as making a Macabre and a Dweller. So normal summon Alistair and then overlay with, like, I don't know, one of your hand traps or your angel statue, this card can just win you the game. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, be mindful. Don't just
this card is unreal.
Don't overdo it. Do what's right for the game.
And then we are playing the 1 copy of our Cyber Dragon Nova. This is just in that, like, strange kind of situation where you play those, like, Invoked Dogmatica, Shadal, whatever mishmash deck is. They're obviously going to attempt to Maximus you. You can just do this and get your own Macabre out even faster. You should never have 2 Eldritches on board unless you can kill your opponent, but if you can't, playing some big beefy train, boys.
Choo-choo. I almost said beep beep, but that was the wrong locomotive thing.
Yeah, you don't really make these often, but it is good to have the utility in the access for them. And speaking of access and Eldritch, we are playing the 1 brand new copy of Eldritch, the Mad Golden Lord.
Yo, he's so mad.
This card takes 1 Eldritch monster and 1 level 5 or higher zombie monster, so
That's
Eldritch
the traps.
and your traps, yeah, that's all it really is. And then this card says that this card's name becomes Eldritch the Golden Lord while it's on the field, therefore all of your traps are still live. Very good to know. This card can also not be destroyed by battle or card effects, and it's 3,800 attack. This card is
freaking huge.
It's 3,500 defense. Like, this card is nuts. It also has the additional effect where you contribute 1 zombie monster and then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Take control of it, but it cannot attack or activate its effects this turn. So next turn, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Next turn, that's it. It's over.
Jesus.
You can only use this effect of Eldritch the Golden Lord once per turn, which is really, really good because, like, not only does it steal your opponent's monsters, it also tributes some of your traps to get them in your graveyard to keep your Eldritch engine rolling.
It's absolutely wild that this card is just considered Eldritch the Golden Lord while on the field too. Like, that is just bonkers.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's so many ways. Like, this just helps you go in for game if you, like, burn through your Alistair engine or your Invoked engine. And, like, just putting this on the board sometimes in testing, believe it or not, the pressure that this dude applies is just, like, really, really good.
Well, yeah, because most things can be beat over by battle. Like, you can get over a Dragoon with battle. This thing's freaking huge and it can't be destroyed by battle. So it's like, oh my god, I've got to find a way to get over it. Like, this thing's amazing.
And then, obviously, moving on with our fusions. For our Invoked engine, we are playing the 1 copy of Purgatrio, we are playing the 1 copy of Raijin, the 1 copy of Caliga, and then the 1 copy of Ogoides. Purgatrio is obviously your OTK button, Raijin is just your Book of Moon, and we are playing it because the bird deck or the bird up deck is starting to see a lot more play, and it is a wind monster.
Cheap, cheap.
Caliga is basically like your blanket kind of skill drain, and then your Ogoides is also an additional kill button. It's also good to know that if Ogoides is special summoned or a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. The big beefy daddy of the deck. There he is.
Makaba. We actually, ironically, we looked up how to pronounce Makaba because we literally didn't know for the longest time because everyone says it differently. Did you know it's an old Hebrew word that like actually represents the, like the chariot of like I think angels or something, something like that. It's really cool, and I think it is actually it's different. It has an R. It's like Merkaba or something like that. But I mean, I think Makaba is a pretty close bet. I don't know. All my Hebrew friends, let me know.
Makaba is basically kind of like your watered down Dragoon, if we can be honest with you. But once per turn during either player's turn when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, you can send the same type monster, spell, or trap from your hand to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's an Omni negate that banishes the card. It can be targeted. It basically, you know, doesn't gain attack, but this is your watered down Dragoon. This is your invoked boss monster. You are basically Makaba pass, set 2 pass, whatever. That's your end board. Speaking of end board, let's get to a test hand and see what this deck is capable of.
Let's show you all this fun interaction.
Wow. Don't forget to go get the binder, friends. Link in the description box down below.
Code crushcards 10. 10% off. All right, you saw it here.
All right, welcome to the test hand section.
Oh my god, look at how beautiful this playmat is.
Isn't it cute?
Just saying, this is our brand new unreleased playmat. It's available for pre-order right now. If you go to big3deals.com and you go to the playmat section, you can pre-order this mat. Whether you're international or not, you can have this mat. This is also available through our box break through Big 3, but they are restocking their Ghosts from the Past. So if you do want to participate and you're in the US or Canada, just stick around for the restock. But if not, and you want to get a hold of this mat, you certainly can. So make sure you pre-order. It'll release after Ghosts from the Past.
All right, that's awesome. This mat looks beautiful. Thanks, Kraus, for designing this mat. Love you, buddy.
Yes, Kraus did an amazing job. Look at triples. If you care about this mat, buy triples.
Sorry, I'll move my hands over here. All right, so we are going to shuffle real quick, and then our opponent will cut, and we'll just showcase what this deck is capable of. All right, opponent, have fun.
Oh boy, I cannot wait to watch you play and have no interactive ability at all.
All right, we're gonna see.
Dang, girl.
There it is, Angel Statue.
Oh, me.
Copy of Alistair, copy of Eldlich, another copy of Eldlich, and a Cursed Eldlin. Perfect.
I mean, that's pretty lit.
Right, so we're gonna start off. Obviously, we are going to activate our Cursed Eldlin, Bait the Ash. Right, so pay 8, feel great. Here we're gonna grab our Conquistador directly from our deck to our hand. And now, of course, we're just gonna activate everybody's favorite field spell, which is not Mystic Mind, but it is Magical Meltdown. Activate the effect.
It might not be Mystic Mind, but it does start with 2 M's.
That's true. And then we're gonna obviously have our Alistair right here. We're gonna normal summon Alistair, activate effect. Grab Invocation, everyone's favorite card.
God, I don't know what I hate more, Alistair or Invocation, like really.
And now we can just link into our Artemis.
We didn't have the extra deck on the screen. It was sitting next to us the whole time. Sorry guys, it's over here now. It's where it belongs. Make sure you have your extra deck in the right spot. Don't be us.
Obviously, we'll just activate Invocation, banishing our 2, summoning out our Makaba, and then obviously Invocation in the graveyard, shuffle back, add back to hand, shuffle up, and then we'll do what these decks do best, right? We'll just hold these 2 cards in our hand. Set 3. 2 cards in hand, and we'll pass turn.
I hate this.
There it is. Amazing. So here we have a pressure card on our opponent's turn. We'll just special summon this. And obviously we have a special and a pop still. Plus, we have the Macabre negate. It's pretty great. Obviously, we can have Eldritch. We can link the Eldritch away later on, get rid of this, and then we can just go in for game.
Now, would you say to activate this before they special summon anything, or wait until they normal summon? Like, when do you think would be a good time to summon that?
Personally, I would wait until you see the normal summon. Therefore, it gives you information as to what they are playing. Then this card is just utility whenever you want. You also don't have to send this card if you do activate like your Conquistador and then you chain your Elixir. You can special Eldritch, and then obviously the Conquistador will special summon itself, and then you can activate the Angel Statue to just send this instead. Therefore, you have this in your graveyard for follow-up.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the full combo. If you have Conch and Scarlet, you basically just, that's Eldritch combo along with Eldland, and then you've got this big old piece of work over here. You've got you got Alistair in hand, like, you got this. I mean, what else do you need, team? This is pretty rude of a deck. And I mean, obviously, if you have a spell or a trap in hand or whatever, obviously Macabre has his different things you can ditch.
Yeah, opening the 1 or the 2-0 of the Eldritch kind of stinks, but like, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's not always going to be your hand, obviously. That's just the way we want to show you, because we like to show you real test hands so that you know what can actually happen in practicality. Obviously, every game is different, but this is essentially what happens. You've got pressure for a summon, you've got pay, feel great, you've got a big old thick boy.
You pop the card.
And then you've got a negate.
Plus an Alistair in hand.
Wow.
And then our top deck. Wow, look at that. It's a trap, so we can just, you know, send Eldritch with the trap, pop this, and then we can, you know, Eldritch effect, do all the fun stuff.
Then you've got all the stuff in your graveyard, and wow. But anyway, we hope this was helpful for you. For all of my Invoked players, don't worry, we're not knocking on you. We don't hate you. We're just big fans of the Invoked engine. It has nothing to do with you or your choice to play the deck. We love you. You're perfect. You do still matter. I just don't love this deck. And it's a shame, because it's a really cool archetype. Some people, you know, just ruin it for you. I don't know, have you ever had a deck ruined for you? But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let us know what you think. Let us know what kind of build you're working on. Let us know what other builds you'd like us to see. Just comment below. And stay tuned for Breakfast and Banlist on Monday, babes. Yep, we're going to talk about the Banlist and become a Banlist channel just like everyone else. But we love you. You matter. And we will see y'all probably on Saturday. I don't know, whenever we put a video up next. See ya.
Hi, friends. Hi, bye, friends. But before we go, don't forget to head over to ImperiumDuels.com and get the brand new book